Great, thanks to have you guys here. Appreciate you being here for the afternoon. So this is, I'm gonna ask each of the panel, but Mr. Neal, I'm gonna give you a specific way to address it when it gets to you, okay? But we can just start from left to right. So, we have our race with China. It's critical for economic national security, and we must confront the use of AI by our adversaries like China to be able to attack and disrupt our critical energy systems. They're able to do that, and these are fast-moving, evolving threats. So would each of you briefly talk about your work with DOE and other agencies to stay on top of these threats and how the bills today help advance energy sectors? How do we stay ahead of the threat of China using AI to attack our grid or other adversaries? And how do you work with energy, and what other things would you? And Ms. O'Neill, when you get to you, if you would just, what role the national laboratories play to share information about AI risk and energy sector? All right, you start.
So I'll start by saying that supply chain risk is a risk to national security. And I agree with the statements that have been made. We have a national security imperative to win at AI. AI needs data centers need electricity needs infrastructure, and infrastructure needs supply chains to support that. I will very ironically borrow a Chinese proverb. The Chinese proverb is, the best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago, the second best time is today. The best time to combat Chinese industrial policy was 30 years ago. The second best time is today. So when I think of security of supply chains, it is security. It is things like the Citrix program, which has been referenced today, which is looking at material and equipment to make sure it does not have backdoors or other latent malware that could potentially put us at risk. But I also think of it in terms of availability. Should China choose to stop sharing rare earth minerals, for example, that puts a strain on our ability to operate the grid. So we need to be thinking holistically about manufacturing capacity to support electricity, support data centers, to support AI as a national security imperative.
Ollie? Dr. Wiley? Your answer on this?
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
So from the perspective of electric cooperatives, we are not-for-profit at-cost providers of electricity, and our partnership with DOE is very valuable to us because it helps us gain access to information sharing, coordination at multiple levels, and it helps us to take a holistic approach to manage the risks, threats, and opportunities that it takes to be able to manage something like this in this threat environment. But we're indifferent to where the threat comes from. It's all threats. It's all nation-state actors, everything that we face. It helps us maintain a more resilient posture.
And again, the role national laboratories can play in this?
Thank you for the question. The national laboratories have been working in artificial intelligence for a very long time, right? The supercomputers that we have, AI has been a kind of a cornerstone bedrock. We've had a center for AI at PNNL for a very long time. I'll say that we are following the lead of the Department of Energy. The department has, I think the Undersecretary mentioned the AI Forts program that's recently been initiated, which is specifically about using AI in order to address energy risk and advance energy security. PNNL also operates programs that were mentioned like Citrix, and we do reviews of supply chains to Representative Palmer's point. And then again, we provide technical assistance to states because it is impossible to have that level of expertise and computational skill everywhere, and so it's important that the national laboratories be made available to others that need that information.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Lotto?
Thanks for the question. So a couple of things to mention here. First, in terms of the ESCC regularly gets threat briefings, and for the last 2 years now, that's included a threat briefing as it relates to artificial intelligence to keep the CEOs apprised of the risk and to stay ahead as they're making risk-informed decisions in their utilities. We're also in regular communication with DOE and the DOE National Labs on what work is being done in AI from the electric grid perspective, both offensive and defensive, to see if there's opportunity for partnership. And then certainly last but not least, programs like the RMUC enable utilities to protect against all threats and hazards, which also include supply chain risks.
Okay, thank you. And I have another one for the panel, but not enough time for you all to answer. But so all the bills today reflect measures that would support constant learning and improvement, whether through improved leadership assistance and sharing coordination. How would these bills be useful to strengthen your work to safeguard and respond to threats? Mr. Aaronson and Dr. Melby, if we can.
I'll be super quick. They're all very valuable, in particular the Energy Threat Analysis Center. Codifying that particular function has been it's already shown value, and I think giving it resources and that codification is only going to help.
Okay, Dr. Melby?
Yeah, I'll also be brief. Anything that helps us have better information more quickly helps us respond faster and better and more broadly to the threats that we face.
Okay, I don't know if the indulgence for a couple more, my time's expired. I'm gonna hopefully get to the answers as we go. I yield back.